Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. So I made it to the bank. It's something I got to thinking about after watching. I like to watch influencers that go into the casino and stuff like that. And also at the same time, I'd like to see what they do. Say, for instance, I see them do like $100 challenges, $20 challenges, stuff like that. And I got to think, what if I applied some of the same concept to coin searching? Granted, I'm always on a quest for silver, but there's other mints or other coinage that, shall I say, are valuable as well. And I got to thinking, well, what would I do if I only had like 20 bucks? So I'm going to call this a $20 challenge. So with my $20 challenge, I've got $10 worth of quarters, $5 worth of dimes, $4 worth of nickels, and $1 worth of pennies. So I don't have any idea what we're going to be getting. I was asked of folks if I could get one that didn't have a B or a D or a little line drawn through it or a little dot or anything else like that for the quarters. So let's see what we got. Actually, you know what? I really need my glasses. I'm gonna pause this and see what we can do. So far, nothing really special. A lot of statehood quarters. I think really the big thing is looking for, I don't know, silver, obviously. Also looking for the W mint mark, which would be the 2019, 2020s on those. I've managed to find one. I actually really surprised when I happened to catch that mint marking. Also, I'm trying to find the semi-quincentennials. Pull up my magic. Eyeballs seem to fail me at times. It all comes down to lighting. Also, for instance, this one right here is the Tuskegee Airman. Usually right on the building, there's an error where it looks like the building is on fire, which is it got some extra dye carryover. I know about that one. Again, there's a lot more errors that I even have a clue about. Like this one here, I guess there's a little mark. It's supposed to be on the back side of his hat. Extra little dye chip. I'll take a look at those too. So far, not a whole lot. But nice little activity that you're just sitting here on a day, not a whole lot going on, especially if it's raining or if it's extremely hot like it is here. Or if some of the stores and stuff or the banks and stuff haven't opened up yet. Little things. Again, like I said, this is only $20. Be interesting to see how I make out on this. Good old Wilma. No, it's not Wilma. Wilma Mankiller. Little spinners, that's a 19 or 20. That's a Denver mint. All right. I'd really like to get one of these with the Army as far as War in the Pacific. It's a 2019, especially seeing as how the W mint mark, so it's supposed to commemorate the end of the World War II. I'd really like to get my hands on one of those, just because of my prior military service as well. So we're drawing to an end on the quadas. All right, nothing on the quarters, which is fine. Let's see how we're doing on the dimes. Dimes, pretty much straight up silver is what I'm gonna be looking for. And we'll see how we do on that. That's the thing with the dimes. It's pretty easy to go through pretty quick. I haven't heard of very many errors on the mint markings or anything of that nature, but I have had a little bit of success as far as single rolls instead of banker boxes. One of my videos, I did a $20, again, another $20 challenge where it was 4 rolls of dimes. And so I have a lessons learned. I was going through and sorting through all these, and I got through the dimes, and I started doing the nickels and the pennies. And in between, right before the dimes got done, I actually got a phone call, and I didn't realize that when the phone rings, it kills your videoing. So everything I went through and I talked and discussed as far as the dimes and the nickels and the pennies, I did not get recorded. So shame on me for not knowing, but again, this is a learning process. By far, I'm not an expert, but I can at least discuss what I went through. So I did the dimes. I didn't find anything there. As far as the nickels goes, I had $4 worth of nickels. Again, these are the newer Jeffersons. I have no clue as far as the dates and stuff on those. So I just pulled them off to the side. The pennies, I went through and I pulled all those out. I did not find any wheats at all, but I did find 10 of the coppers. And inside those, each roll actually had 2 dimes. So out of my $20, I know I made at least 18 cents off the deal. So my $20, I turned to $20.18. And as far as the nickels goes, I found a couple of 63s. One of them's a Denver. I think those are some of the older ones and more type of a premium. But anyway, I will go back and I'll look and see about the nickels, and I'll show you if I actually get anything else, and we'll go from there. Again, I apologize. It's a learning process. So as you can very well tell from the videos, didn't have a whole lot of success, but it was nice to go back and see those nickels. Those 3 nickels, I went back to the pile. I said that earlier in the video there was a 64, so I pulled that out. I went and did some research, and I guess anything, pre-66 are good ones to hang on to, so I pulled those back. And then the later mint marks was the 2004, 2005s. I guess that's kind of like the Lewis and Clark edition ones, the Jefferson. I guess they're called Freedom. And then there's a lower mint mark, mintage of the later mintages. I think it's 2019, 2020. I had to go back and look again. But anyway, didn't find any of those. But as a whole, $20 challenge, learning process from the videos to doing everything, and learning a little bit about nickels. So on the surface, not a success, but from a growth standpoint, very successful. I do appreciate you guys watching. Again, please subscribe. Join me on this journey, which it is a journey, and we'll have some fun for sure. And again, most of all, keep searching.